Ready?
Wait, what's...
We're just gonna start.
Oh.
Okay. Hello!
Howdy.
I still haven't shaved. This is...
I'm Zach.
And this is the Tokyo Ghoul After Show. Insert music that hasn't been made yet.
Yes.
And probably won't happen.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be the best.
If for anyone who hasn't watched this week's episode, you should probably do that.
Yeah, you'll finally get a exciting one for once.
Yeah, after we had two kind of... Was it two?
There's two build-up episodes,
yeah,
for the most part, yeah.
Everything kind of is just blurring together, I feel like, as far as everything goes.
Your life.
Yeah, that too. That too. How did the show open? What did we open? Toru in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess, this episode generally just, the overview is very simple. It set us up, it just gave us about half the resolutions for all the build-up that was the last two episodes. It was a lot of fighting, a lot of action. It got really wild, and it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of issues that could be had with it.
Yes.
Some of them story-wise, but most of them just sort of with the art and whatnot. But it was an awesome episode, really. I enjoyed it. It was the first one where I was
you were in it.
I was entertained very, very well the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's pretty simple. If you've been keeping up, it's exactly what you expect it to be. There's about 4 fights that happen all at the same time, and then it gives kind of what those fights mean. Mm-hmm. Gives you a little tiny bit of sneaky backstory that if you pay attention, you'll kind of see some things that are going to matter very much in the future. It was general, basic, just old school anime, just people beating the shit out of each other.
At least it wasn't 5 minutes of shouting.
That is true. There was no spirit bomb holding for the whole time.
For the whole episode.
No one was charging up a special beam cannon. Or, none of that.
You know what? But Vegeta always got Vegeta never had, charging attacks. He just kind of, went for it.
Vegeta's always he was always the best character. He's amazing. And he really does. Okay. Even his, his biggest thing, his Final Flash, is just instant.
Big Bang attack.
The Big Bang attack, but it's still also instant. Yeah. He just blows up.
Hi guys, welcome to the Dragon Ball Z After Show.
Okay. Anyway, so firstly, just sort of going over the art. One of the biggest issues, I think we both had issues with the art of this episode.
Yes.
I'll let you lead off on this because I always rant on this.
Everything felt kind of choppy. It didn't feel fluid. It felt stiff. And once again, coming into Ayato, who last season was so swift, so quick, so fast, it's just kind of floating around. Mm-hmm. And I just it's becoming a big problem. I'm hoping that maybe it's a case where they're saving their budget for this next episode, but
I don't think it's that. I think they legitimately don't have the animators anymore because there hasn't been this whole season. I've harped on it. It's not smooth. It is a it's a lot of it looks so much more like stop motion to where they have build-ups to attacks or they show some movement, but nothing's fluid. They don't, the actual connections to things aren't fluid. They do a lot of they'll draw up, they do an image slide where they'll let something happen and then it slowly slides across the screen rather than do the physical action.
Yeah.
Which is very, for instance, in this, there's a point where the fucking T-Owl jams his hand through someone's chest, which is awesome, but they don't really show it. They just sort of
it's not his hand going through.
Yeah.
It's the camera panning through the image. Yeah.
And it's weird. And before the show we had brought up in the age of My Hero and the latest season of One Punch and even the new Dragon Ball Super, the stuff that's coming out, the animation has taken a step up in terms of fighting. Yeah. If you watch the latest episode of My Hero is some of the craziest fighting on screen I've ever seen, and it's gorgeous. And then of course One Punch is some of the best fighting animation of all time.
Yeah.
But we live in that world now, so they need to step it up.
Yeah, and I feel like it wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't worse than it was for the last 2 seasons. Like if it had stayed the same, it would have been fine. But because there's a noticeable step back as far as that goes, it's depressing.
Absolutely. It's kind of scary because it kind of seems like, and I didn't realize this, but what Dana told me is there's like it's struggling with popularity in Japan. And they might have really just the American audience that really is obsessed with Tokyo Ghoul might have brought the show back more so than anything else. And that being said, they're focusing so much on the story, thinking that is going to be the most important part that everyone enjoys. They are kind of almost forgetting that it's like, hey, this is
when you have a full battle episode.
Yeah, it's still an anime series based on wild violence and wild fights, and you have to remember both of those.
Yeah, I don't know, just a letdown.
But yeah, besides that, there was a lot of cool stuff, especially like some of the character development, character things. Like I think the 2 main characters that you got to see like some interesting things with were Yuri and Naki in this one, actually. Seeing some interesting things. I think Naki had a weird breakdown that I really enjoyed where like you're kind of seeing that like while he's insane and he still is like praised to boss god, he loves his team, like his little white suit team of psychos. He had like a full-on meltdown because 2 of his guys died, and I think it's kind of leading into Naki becoming a fuller, more real character. Like I used to hate him, and he just grows and grows on me all the time because he's hilarious. Yeah, he seems to genuinely care about the people that are close to him because he's like the nature of his character is obsessive love.
It was Gagi and Googie.
The big twins.
Let's go in on Naki. This is a guy who clearly has issues, attachment issues, and not so much like with the people that he has, but he's been something has happened with him before where he now has attachment to like Jason, and now that he's kind of the new Jason, Gagi and Googie, and then he also keeps losing these people that he has. It's kind of like a one-way attachment, and it's just kind of I think he's kind of annoying, but he's also like, but they do a great job showing that like even though it's like a one-sided thing, and not so much with Gagi and Googie but more so with like Jason, they do a good job of showing that he has very real like feelings towards these people, and very, very intense feelings.
Yeah, because when he lost it, like there's a point where he says he drops down, he's like, I'm nothing but my history, I'm nothing but sorrow and pain, I'm nothing, I'm nothing. And then when these people try to protect him, he immediately breaks down, he's like, oh my god, I do have things.
And then they kill everyone.
But I mean, exactly, when you love things in Tokyo Ghoul, they die. But no, I like that, and it digs into the nature of depression almost, because keep in mind, like you said, like some things happened to him. He was like Kaneki getting just tortured to death by Jason. It was Naki.
Yeah.
And Naki had been tortured and like absolutely defiled by Jason for so long that he
warped into Jason's liking essentially to
but that leaves him empty and broken as a man, and the like pure real depression. And so in that, like, he found an obsession that gave him value and worth. And this show really, really harps on worth and value and what matters, and the nature of connection and obsession, the difference between those. Like, it is really heavy. And
we're going to get into that, I think, in next episode. There's going to be some huge connection stuff happening there.
Especially now with Takizawa coming into it.
With Takizawa, and then with Heisei, and who's going to be coming up in the next episode. Don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't been reading, because I think that is a big thing. But
absolutely.
So, sorry for the non-spoiler spoiler.
Yeah. And then you have Yuri, who I also think had a really... Oh my God. You got to see just... Because Yuri's my boy. I love that kid, but he's such an ass. And he's just... Another thing about obsession, he gets value from worth as an investigator rather than being a person.
Yeah, his soul, how he values himself or his existence or something is his worth to himself and like the organization kind of, and like, but also in the most selfish way possible, because it's all about gaining credit through climbing the ranks of the organization.
Yeah.
And so I think that at the core it's his own selfish need for self-verification, but he disguises it to himself as, trying to climb the ranks of the organization to be a better investigator, even though he has said that he wants to basically ruin the Quink Squad.
Yeah. And I think he's like, but his motivations, I think he's got pretty see-through motivations. Like when he says that he's trying to bring down the Queen Squad, it's not because he doesn't like the Queen Squad. It's because he doesn't like being part of a team.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to deal with that.
He wants to be recognized for himself and not part of the team.
Yeah, like in this episode, like he pretty much, like he could have called him backup, but he says he won't. He sort of sneaky says it because he doesn't want Juzo to get more backup. And in addition to him, to take more of the glory away.
Yeah.
And so it's never really about him wanting to sabotage anyone because he likes sabotage or being cruel. It's just because he's so selfish. But while digging into that so hard, like it's good, that's gonna backfire on him, and that's gonna give him the opening for a lot of tremendous growth.
Because you know more than me, but it's definitely a thing where. Like you said, Tokyo Ghoul is all about the relationships and the connectiveness. And right now, he doesn't really have a relationship.
He's got nothing.
He's got himself. He's not connected to anybody in his squad. He doesn't have his parents. He's not connected with anyone in the organization. And I feel like when he falls, he's going to fall hard.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm sure there's gonna be a breakdown. The Queen Squad itself is like teetering, because like there's gonna be that moment where Heise is no longer Heise, and what the fuck do you do then? And like. I mean, and honestly, even though I've read it, I don't remember exactly what happens, but I do remember there's a lot. I mean, there's just so much. Like I don't know, that squad is born to die, unfortunately, and it's just...
They're an experiment.
Yeah.
It's what they are, and it's on its way to failing.
Yeah, and it's wild. Yeah. But what are the big standout characters were you for in this one?
Takizawa, one of the big things, I wanted more of him, but I feel like we got a little bit of him through the interaction with the other investigator that was part of his lecture, because like you were saying earlier in the episode, like how they were making him seem a little bit more crazy.
Yeah, he does seem more crazy than
he was in the manga, but at that point and a little bit later, he's starting to be more cognizant.
Yeah, like it really does. Like he's kind of like the rabid dog of the Agori tree right now, and they just sort of take him off the leash and let him go murder, which is fine. But I'm interested to see what they do with this, because Takizawa's story is, while it's awesome, like it kind of could very easily be placed on the back burner, and they could just use him as the crazy character.
Yeah, which I don't think Suya Ishida, at least he has, as we know, he has a purpose for every single character.
Yeah.
Whether it happens right away or down the line.
Yeah, and I'm strictly talking in anime.
Yeah.
So in the anime, if they allow us, because Takizawa's story is really incredible, and it kind of shows, like, and this is another non-spoiler, but you later on you'll see like there's a tremendous amount that you can add to the story, and not necessarily in a good way or bad way, just more information. But the anime, it's going to struggle to find time to do all these like really intricate backstories. Because there's so many. Like, every single character has a really deep, crazy backstory. Even the ones that you barely see in the show. Like Ara, who is going to end up working with, working with Juzo a lot more, and working with Mutsuki, and then, like, Furuta, and all these random characters who are just so much bigger, and you learn so much more about. Like, I don't know if we'll have time in the anime. And so I think I'm nervous that since they made him seem so crazy, they might just keep him just crazy.
Yeah. I think next episode is going to be a big tell how crazy... that'll be the tell if they keep him as a crazy rabid dog, or if they are going to develop his story, at least in the anime. Yeah. Or I wouldn't even be okay with them just like alluding to the fact that he has a story and he's not just a crazy dog. Even if in the anime we don't find anything, as long as he's just like... He is a character, at least. Yeah, would be fine for me, because I understand that there isn't enough time in a 20-minute episode in a 12 to 20 whatever episode
hopefully
season.
24.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's going to be 12, because we're at episode 5 and we're hitting the halfway point of something, and probably going to do another arc for the next 6.
Ugh, I hope not. I hope it's 24.
I would love it for it to be 24, or 22 or whatever.
But yeah, that was. But no, because he really is, and he, like, when getting into like the philosophy, he can dig into a lot of different things because he's another like Ken Kaneki character who has like mixed things about him. And I mean, you already kind of figured out, like, you can tell he's a one-eyed ghoul. He obviously was an investigator, so Dr. Kanu obviously has like turned him into a ghoul. And it's, why is he different than Kaneki? Because like, and so what happened? And if they really dig into that, they can learn so much more about the show.
Well, and I think it might just be a case where Kano kept a tighter leash on him, and so therefore he wasn't able to develop into his new being by himself.
You keep reading, you'll learn.
Oh, okay.
You'll learn why he's crazy.
My prediction's wrong.
You will learn exactly why he's crazy. But yeah, no, that was good. I like that Motto is starting to finally look like a badass. She got the crazy.
Oh my god, we had like one scene with her.
Yeah, at least she's a badass though.
Yeah.
Can we go into something that annoyed the hell out of me?
Yes.
This annoyed me and it annoyed me in the show or in the book as well, or in the manga. Why did the investigator get to choke out one of the clowns? Why didn't the clown just use his freaking Kakuja and
just stab him? Wait, but like what? I guess
stupid.
it depends on the type of kind. Is it a Bikaku? Is it an Inkaku?
I don't know. He's also a 500-pound clown monster, and there's a dude in here. Give him a headbutt. That was the stupidest thing, and I know, like.
But like,
dumb.
They do like. I agree, it is dumb, but they also justify it because of whose son he is. And the fabled strength of that family.
I don't care if Dwayne Johnson walked in the room and tried to choke me out. I could at least put up more of a fight than that clown did. Like, he didn't do anything. He just was
also
like,
think that,
I'm fat and have no arms.
Let's also, like, just in contrast, playing devil's advocate, let's take into the big clown ghoul's intelligence in general. Like, is he smart enough to do that, or did he just flail around like he did?
If he's a member, if he's with Romo and fucking Uta, as they're a trio, come on. They're a trio. He can't just be the fat, stupid guy.
They had, not Naki, the other guy with the butt chin guy. He's also a clown, and so he's not even there. But I'm just saying, what happens if this dude's like just the muscle? It's just the muscle.
Devil's advocate somewhere else, because that's stupid. That was so stupid. Like, even when I read it, because that is directly pulled from the manga. It was exactly what happened in the manga. And as I read it, I just like dropped the book. I'm like, this is dumb.
It's really funny because I had a different reaction. I went, oh shit!
I was so mad. I'm definitely a Ghoul fan. Kill all the humans. I hate all the humans in every bit of this. And I hate humans in the real world, honestly. Except for anyone that's watching here. If ghouls are around, fuck them. Eat everybody. Like, that dude should never have been able to choke out the giant monster clown. And not just choke him out, but he broke his neck? Come on.
Dude, he's got those pythons.
It said, like, the muscle fiber of a ghoul is so strong you can't shoot it with a
pierce
bullet.
It with knives.
A bullet
you can't. You can't pierce it, but I mean, I don't know. Is it malleable? I don't know. Whatever.
Just for the physics-wise, even how fat his neck was, it's real hard to break. Stupid. Yeah. That was the main thing I disliked about the entire episode.
I mean, the thing to go off of the disliking, the thing that I disliked the most was making Takizawa look like just a crazy one-eyed dog, and then also I'm just upset with the animation still.
Yeah, that is true. One cool thing we didn't note that's really awesome, you kind of got to see finally, we're seeing more and more how powerful and important Uta is. And this was, I think, the first time we saw his, like, the face change.
Yeah. That guy's gonna go somewhere. That kid's gonna go somewhere someday.
He's going big places, for sure. No, but that was the first time you got to see that skill, and like that is something that we've never seen before. That's really freaking awesome. Is like he can change his face, he can literally manipulate the skin on his face to become someone else. And in this point, he became Arima.
Yeah. Because that even caught me. I was like, wait, what? Like it was so quick.
And he did it with one of Arima's like guards.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that kid's name is.
Yeah.
But that kid has he's a very talented investigator.
Would you say that those two are like the human version of the Quink Squad? Like they're kind of like.
With the kid in Arma?
Yeah, like like the guard who was fighting Uta, and then the son of
they're the O Squad for sure.
Yeah.
So like they're the O Squad. They're Arima's personal guard, and they are thugs.
Yeah.
Like they're crazy. They do even more badass shit later on. They're really, really incredible investigators.
They're thugs.
They are thugs. But no, that was super cool, and it showed a little bit of how Uta toys with people. Because Uta even says, he's like, "Oh, you didn't even hesitate. Like usually that would take somebody off guard," and also Uta just grew his face back instantly, which he's just an awesome character.
To the mask, like, did he put the mask on, or did he just?
I assume he put the mask back on because you saw him pull it off, and so I think they just played it and he put it back on.
Cool.
But it's badass, and like that was really cool, and it's interesting how Uta is just toying with people. So like everything they say, everything they do, like Uta seems to be just messing around, and but he's there, and they're specifically fighting those people.
We don't. Yeah, like it's just like, it's frustrating because we don't know the plan, and we know there is a plan. There's something going on,
but nobody knows.
No one knows.
No one knows. Yeah. Even now, once again, like I'm so deep in the manga, and I have no freaking clue what's going on. It makes no sense.
I kind of feel like this is more about like people like working together in like the organization of CCG. I feel like Toru and Shizuya are gonna end up being like working together, kind of. Like this is just a prediction, because I don't know, but I feel like Shizuya is gonna kind of like help Toru get over his fear thing, because like Heisei he's too kind. He's very much the happiest version of Kaneki, which is just too kind.
Yeah, and there's a point when you can like brush over something. Like they even showed, I think in the first episode, like he sees that Mutsuki is a girl with their like chest wrapped up or whatever, and then just ignores it. And there's something that's not so great about that. Like when you have like a problem, a psychological issue, like if you have a friend who you know they're depressed, if you just pretend that it's not real all the time, while that makes life easier to live, that doesn't make their problem go away.
Yeah.
And so like hiding behind false ignorance is a lie to the psyche, and it's not necessarily a good thing. So I think that is very like spot on, because Juzo doesn't care to lie about anything.
Yeah.
Because Juzo's crazy, and two, like also has kind of like weird sexual identity things.
Yeah.
Because Juzo got his balls.
He got malleted.
Yeah. And so yeah, I think that's actually that's a good insight, because they should have some kind of connection. Mutsuki's just is got this long dark path ahead of her. Trying to be a boy, her, whatever. There's just, in this story, there's no way that can turn out good. Something terrible's got to happen, which is awful to say, but it's just the way this goes.
Yeah, and like I feel like we haven't even hit a point where something terrible we haven't hit a terrible thing yet.
Yeah, in this season, nothing really awful's happened, and it's building up.
Yeah,
there's a big awful cloud catching up, and it's gonna get weird.
I'm waiting for all the pent up like conflict just to like explode and metaphorically level the city. Oh yeah, or physically level the city
eventually. But yeah, there's I don't know, that might be a big future thing. I'm really interested to see, so like we've sort of got this glimpse of Kane, who works for Tsukiyama, who's sort of been in the picture for the last 2 episodes, and is a very interesting character, because obviously very powerful, obviously like connected by some weird way that we don't know yet, because like
also detached a little bit, like he's not all there.
Oh yeah, totally. Yet another victim of obsession. Yet another character that is wildly and grotesquely obsessed with another, and to the point where he's stealing Heisei's underpants, which also made a sneak cameo.
Another cameo
of famous underpants. And yeah, so like that's an interesting character that's gonna should add to some things, and it's another thing that's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is this whole plot thread of Tsukiyama, and how is he going to be more involved? And eventually we find that out, and as you'll see very quickly, there's something going on. But there's a lot of future stuff going on. What I'm more interested in is like how they're going to delve into his mindset, because he's, like you said, bonkers completely. And there's a lot there, but it's kind of hard to unpack, because it's much more. Yeah, as we move along the Tokyo Ghoul road, we go to crazy town to crazy town.
The road to Re.
Yeah, we're just now in like crazy metropolitan cities. It's crazy continents. Like we're at a crazy town. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And because everyone's insane.
Yeah.
Which is good, I guess.
We're all a little crazy.
But yeah, what do you think? So
mad,
with the Takizawa and Heise next week, is that going to be the main focus of the episode, or?
I feel like we're gonna get a solid 10 minutes of that, or a solid 8 minutes of that, and a solid 8 minutes of Juzo and Madam, and I feel like that should be enough for me.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I do want, like, they need to start mixing better, because like this episode, like we like to get in on the show a bit about like the sort of psychological aspects or like what they're doing in mindsets and whatnot, and they either, it seems now, are doing an episode like this, which is wild action but like nothing really happens. It's awesome, like I enjoyed it, and that's not a takeaway, but then there was no story. When the last 2 weeks it's all story, character growth, and build up. And,
or even episodes 1 and 2 had more story and character build-ups along with good action. And, you know.
And so it's a weird thing. Like it's hard to judge because like this season is, I like the season just mainly because I'm such a fanboy. But like it's honestly
it's hard.
Technically,
to be
it's like from a totally critical standpoint, it's not really the best show because we're 5 episodes in and it still doesn't seem to like really have a feel of what the show is.
Yeah. It's very discombobulated.
Yeah. That being said, though, I still I'd give this episode for what the show is, I'd give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8. I enjoyed it. The only real problems I had were the stupid choke out, but that's more for a writer's thing, so I can't really take that against the show because it's in the manga. And then the art going downhill. But if the art were really good, if the art were like One Punch Man level, this episode would have been a 10. Like full on 10.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. I would have to give my rating like 6.5, maybe 7. Just because, like you said, I'm kind of disappointed. It's just like the art's not the level it should be for a fighting episode, and there wasn't enough story to overcome those faults.
I'm just a cheaper date than you. I can go to Transformers and be entertained.
Oh, I can't.
I am a simple man sometimes, and I can deal with just. But what?
I can go to Fast and Furious and be entertained though.
Less there.
Is it?
It's a weird swap there. I haven't seen a new Fast and Furious movie since I was in like high school.
Damn.
They keep making them.
They get better. They got much better.
Yeah, I've heard.
I mean, for that type of movie, they got much better.
That's fair. Fast and Furious after show. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. This was a much simpler episode than pretty much any of the other ones. Mm-hmm. Just lots of fighting, closing out things, and setting up again for like the 2 big fights next week.
Yeah. But I'm gonna have to get going. But anything for
that's it
for you? What's going on? Anything you want to throw out there?
Just in life,
Aethersphere.
Just May the 4th. You know, it's coming up. May the 4th, we'd be with you at the old Scum and Villainy Cantina. I'll be dressed up. I might be Slave Leia. We're trying to see if we can get a costume real quick.
That'd be sick.
I might be Slave Leia.
You're gonna be cold.
Just bartend in Star Wars drag. That'll be fun.
Oh man.
That's about it.
Cool. New Boy Hero video is out on YouTube. Go check that out. We'll be following up with more band news in hopefully a couple days here. So if you're interested, be on the lookout for that. I'm Zach. You find me at zclap1 on Instagram. I think that might be it. And then I am the Dan Red. You can find me at the Dan Red on Instagram, Twitter, and everything like that. But as always, thank you so much for joining in, for those who did, and we will be back next week, probably at a more regular time, around 1:32 o'clock for the start. Just my schedule's been really stupid the last 2 weeks, so I apologize to you guys and to you.
It's all good. Life's crazy.
All right.
But thanks a lot.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.